Greetings, everyone. I know this video might ruff a few feathers and upset some people, but at some point the truth has to be told, and people that are in positions of authority must be brought to account and held responsible for either not doing their job and commended if they do their job. Now, of lately, the government has been pouncing on illegal immigrants, those that are undocumented, and the cleanup has been going on across the country. The web keeps getting on bigger and bigger, and the rabbit hole keeps on deepening. And those who will suffer from this would be every immigrant that is illegal in the country, that is undocumented. Well, some they are obviously at fault for not possessing these documents, while some are just victims of a failed system. Ambassadors of Zimbabwe, Malawi, and some of the other neighboring countries with the highest majority of these immigrants that are undocumented and illegal have failed their people. They have failed Malawians, and this must be spoken. They have failed Zimbabweans. Recently, I think the week prior, a couple of days back, a team of leaders of the society from the South African side handed over a memorandum to the Zimbabwean embassy. And the ambassador has never spoken anything in that regard. Neither did they even have any remorse or concern to speak to their people or brief them as to what's happening and give them some sense of hope and direction. All the immigrants from these two countries, especially Malawi and Zimbabwe, they have just been left as sheep for the slaughter, and they have been left alone to face their own battles, fight their own battles, and face the music of the mighty hand of the law from the South African side. This video now is of a group of ladies that were arrested, and they're in a detention holding area awaiting to be deported. Brilliant people that obviously came to work. They are not disabled. Mentally, they are capacitated. These are people that have got exceptional drive. If someone can leave their country and go to another country, it means they are in pursuit of something. If these people can be approached by the government to say, what can we do for you? What opportunities do you need? These are the right people that even if you want to give a loan to start businesses, they will thrive because they have got experience living outside of the country, so they are not down-minded. Like in KZN, we had about 300 group of illegal immigrants as well from Malawi that were working in a textile facility. These are people with skills. How many textile factories do we have in Malawi? If the government is to say, okay, we are opening a textile factory, I'm appealing to all these rich people that are in Malawi, all you billionaires, this is the time to show your patriotism. Even if you open a factory and employ these people to say, okay, everyone that is been deported from South Africa, or everyone that is in South Africa, if you are undocumented, there will be an employment opportunity here. Come. They will come. You'll be surprised that the people that own these fabric and textile factories in Malawi are Indians. Not to say anything wrong about Indians, but there is no Malawian that has such a factory. So why can't we start? That's why we receive products that are not worthy by the fact that it's only one company that is monopolizing or dominating the market. Why is this? Shall we continue living in this? Why have we as Malawians failed to develop? They always say Malawi is a poor country. Malawi is not a poor country. Malawi is not poor. It's rich in resources. It's the mentality of the leaders, the leadership. The reflection of the country is a reflection of the leadership. If the leader is rich in mentality, capacity, leadership, and drive, it will reflect on the masses. This has to change. And this must be determined in the upcoming elections. Why can't the government say, okay, well, everyone that is in diaspora, irrespective of South Africa or any other country, give us your skills, submit your CV, the government will be in touch with you, so that these people, if they are struggling or if they're having challenges getting themselves documented to get permits, they can go back home. We can go back home to say, okay, let's build something. The country is failing to move forward because all the people with the critical skills, they have left the country. The hospitals, they are getting dilapidated because the best doctors, they can't survive anymore in the country because they can't be paid what they are worth. So they have to go outside in search of, greener pastures to feed their families, to provide for their families the best way they see fit. But if the government would say, okay, well, we want to build a government of the future, everyone must submit their skills, their experience, their criterias before they even fly back to Malawi. Believe you me, Malawi in the next few years will be a better economy, will be a thriving economy, it will be developed, and this will spark the transformation that we need. Now, here is my plea to citizens of Malawi and Zimbabwe. For those that are not in possession of papers, most of these you will find that they have been applying for passports or papers. Like, for example, Malawi. I'll play you a video right now. These are a group of people from Malawi seeking to renew their passport or either applying for a passport. And look, even at the venue at which they were told to come to apply for their passports, there was a lot of commotion. There is people that applied for passports 2 years ago, 3 years ago. The passports are not yet out because the system is broken. The company that used to print, like years back when the leadership knew what they were doing, they used to print passports in all the regions of the country. As it stands at the moment, all the passports for the whole country are being printed in one location, being the central region, the capital city, Lilongwe. For reasons best known to those that are in that position of power, you find that their system is not even centralized and, computerized. They're still dealing with paper. And most of which sometimes you find that if you are from the south, let's say for example you're from Blantyre and you apply for a passport, sometimes your passport can be issued but it is sent to the north, and that's how ridiculous the system has become. And these are things that must be called out. And I know as a country, especially Malawi, we are heading towards the elections. Now, for those that will be deported back to Malawi and won't have a privilege to come back to South Africa, use this as a moment of introspection and obviously utilize your opportunity and power to vote and decisively choose the government that you want to serve you. For a long time, we have had people that enter into positions of power and they do as they please, and they go away scotch-free without being held accountable. And this has to stop. If the leadership has failed, they must acknowledge it and be brought to account. People are not applying for these passports for free. they pay. And once they pay money, they're supposed to be, treated as a customer that is deserving of the service that they're paying for. And yet, most of them are still waiting for their passports. Some, they have been misplaced. And there is a lot of corruption that happens at these immigration offices. You have to pay people for you to get your passport. And this is ridiculous, and this has to stop, because it's not only damaging the reputation of the country, but also is frustrating lives. And these are families, because those that are in the country, like all the illegal immigrants that are from Malawi that are in South Africa, they were utilizing the opportunities and the benefits that they were getting to support and sustain their families. And now they are deported, arrested. Now they'll have to start from scratch. For those that were wise enough to save, I'm sure they will get back to something that they might have set aside for themselves. But irrespective, the reality remains the same, that the failed system of the ambassador. What are the roles of an ambassador in a foreign country? For example, here in South Africa, the Malawi ambassador is meant to address the people, is meant to have a concern for the people that are Malawians living in South Africa. What are they going through? What are they doing? What are they facing? And in a position like this, he's supposed to be speaking to the people, speaking to the South African government to say, okay, how do we do this? You'll be surprised that most of these people from Malawi, they'll even be deported. The government of Malawi won't even check with South African government to say, okay, you are deporting our people. How do we receive them? What are the arrangements? Whatsoever the case may be. It's just a failed system. And this has made us as a nation, especially Malawians, to look as though we are disorganized, poor, yet it's the leadership that have a poor mentality and a poor approach to things. And this has to change, and we have to decide and vote. Same thing with Zimbabwe. Everyone has to decide, and everyone has to stand up to say, okay, this is how we want to have a government that serves us as a people and as a nation, and obviously not misrepresent the voice of the majority. And I hope this message gets across properly without being misrepresented or misinterpreted. The purpose for which I have decided to do this video is to highlight the negligence and the shortfalls in the leadership that rub off to the citizens. This is the time for the ambassadors of these two countries, especially Zimbabwe and Malawi, to come forth, speak to their people and give them direction. Speak to the South African government and liaise with them, hear what the government is saying, and receive directives to say, this is the irregularities that we're experiencing from your people. This is the numbers that we're looking at, and these are the penalties that we're looking at, so that the governments can make arrangements with their people and decide the direction from which the situation goes from now onwards. I hope I've communicated, and I may not have said it in the best way possible, but I just felt like sharing my heart, and I would love to hear your thoughts and take on this. I know the issue of illegal immigrants is not favorable to South Africans, because there's a lot of debate on job security, food security, healthcare and welfare, among other factors. But the fact remains that every human being obviously deserves, their human right. And rightly so, South Africans are right to demand for their rights. And the same for every illegal foreign immigrant. We have to demand that from our leaders and government, to ensure that we create a better future, a better country, a better tomorrow. On this platform, we are determined to just not only share news that will excite you, but also that is interactive, that will make you to introspect and, think and get educated at the same time. So let me hear your school of thought, your ideas, and why you think this is so, why we continue to have a failed leadership. We have ambassadors that are in foreign countries, and they feel like they are on vacation. We never hear their development plans. We never hear what they are aiming to achieve, their tenures start and finish, and there is nothing that comes out of it. This has to change. We need a leadership that is for the people and by the people. that is pro welfare of the people, that is not just there sitting and chilling, yet the people are being rounded up, bundled up, deported, and nothing is spoken about it. Why are these people not documented? This is the issue of national interest, because these are people that are citizens of a country, and the country has to make sure that they meet the needs of their citizens. Why are they not documented? Have they applied? Majority of them have applied, but they haven't even received the passports that they requested for. And what is the issue regarding the visa application for the permits, and the issue surrounding their legalization? These are things that should be looked into. You have them just sit in their houses and eat taxpayers' money, and yet the masses don't even benefit for the purpose for which they are elected into positions of power. This is really disgusting, and it has to stop. Thank you so much. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, what you think regarding the issue of Zimbabweans and Malawians in particular in this case, because they are the ones that are of the highest majority when it comes to the ones that are working in factories and companies, obviously without having permits. Thank you so much. I hope this has blessed your life. Kindly share your thoughts in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. Thank you.